Hi, you're welcome to the 8CJ podcast. I am Oluwatobi Bukwabiola, otherwise known as 8CJ. I speak about faith, love, life, business, and everything in between. Please subscribe to my channel, like, share, engage. I'd like to hear your opinion. I'd like to answer your questions. I'd like to know how you feel about this episode. And this is how we're going to get better as a family, because I consider you all as a family. Thanks for clicking on this video. I really appreciate the support. Please, I'm trying to reach like 1K subscribers before the end of January. You can help me make that happen by sharing. Thank you. So today I'm going to be talking about journaling. Yeah, I posted something on Facebook yesterday about journaling, and someone commented and said I should talk about this on YouTube. So yeah, shout out to you, Gloria, for suggesting that I talk about this, because I wasn't thinking to do a video on journaling, even though it's an important subject. Like, well, I wasn't really thinking like, okay, let me make a YouTube video on this, but I'm here now and I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to share this part with you guys. And yeah, please grab a popcorn and let's enjoy this ride together. So journaling, there is something I really love about journaling, and it helps you keep a track of God's faithfulness. You know, we have that stormy days that things are not going the way we plan it to go, days that we are discouraged, days that life just feels like, oh, why is this going on? But then when you go back to read your journal and you've seen things that were prophesied, visions you've written, and you've seen how God actually fulfilled those things, and those things became your reality, you know, it will boost your faith, it will help your unbelief, and you know, you'll be able to learn to trust God even better. That's one thing about journaling. I started keeping a journal since I can't remember. Trust me, I cannot remember when I started keeping a journal. But one thing I know is I love to write things I want God to see, like things I want to see, things I want God to do for me. I started writing them a long time ago, and you know, it's just so beautiful when you don't remember these things, but then you just go over your journal and you're like, oh my God, when I was doing my quiet time, or when I was studying the word, or when I was listening to a message, this thing dropped in my heart, and then wow, it's actually happened. You know, it helps you trust God more and completely, absolutely. You know, it's just so beautiful to see how prophecies translate to reality. Yeah, that is my testimony anyway. That is one of the reasons why I love journaling. You know, it doesn't have to be prophecy as per Jim prophecy, like, okay, maybe you go for a church program and then pastor says, oh, that sister wearing something at the back there, yeah, I have a word for you. Yeah, that can be a part of it. But then I'm trying to say, even casual conversations between your friends, maybe you're just jokingly speaking, calling things into existence, you know. Maybe your friends, you're just like literally just having fun, joking around, and then they're just calling things existent. Oh, I see you on Forbes 30 under 30. I see, you know, those kind of, they seem like joke or play, but trust me, you might want to just catch that, like, oh yeah, this looks like a joke, this looks like play, like something casual, a casual conversation, and then you just grab it like that and then you go write it in your journal. I remember there was something that a casual conversation I was having with a friend, and then I wrote it in my journal, like, okay, myself and this person spoke about this, and I'm writing this down because I want to keep track of God's faithfulness. Trust me, when I was giving testimony in church, when that thing eventually happened, I carried my journal and I read it out, where I wrote, I'm writing this down to keep a track of God's faithfulness. So that's one beautiful thing, you know. It makes you realize that, oh yes, indeed, God does what he says, he does what he says. And you know, sometimes our brain, the human mind, they said the faintest pen is stronger than the sharpest brain. So when you write, you might forget that you've even written something, but when you go back to it, you know, there's just the way it feels different. Like, oh my God, word for word, God had prophesied this thing to me, God had said this thing. Oh, my friend and I have talked about this, we've said this thing, and it is happening, like it is our reality. These things are quite beautiful, and you don't have to be, when you start journaling, there's something I want to tell you. When you start journaling, it's not going to be easy in the beginning to keep up with your journal, but it's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's perfectly okay. But you just want to, every day you wake up, you get a promise, maybe God drops a verse of the scripture in your heart for a season, you write it down. Maybe God is instructing, maybe in your personal retreat, your intimacy with God, you receive an instruction, you write it down. You know, maybe how you feel, your journey, you document it and all of those stuff. there will be days that you will forget to write, and it is perfectly okay. But the moment you remember to write, please do write. You would really be amazed, like, oh, it is so beautiful to see dreams turn into reality. You know, it's a different feeling when you're like, ah, there was a time I had a dream about this, there was a time I desired this thing, there was a time. That's really different from I actually wrote it down and this is happening. You know, there was just a different energy, a different feeling, a different excitement, and absolute trust in God that follows. Yeah, the most important one is how it helps you trust God even better, how it helps you to know that God is indeed intentional about you. And one thing it also does to you is it helps you keep a track record of patterns in your life. Patterns, you know, it helps you keep track record of patterns and events. Now, I do not mean when you're journaling, please try as much as possible not to journal hurt. Please don't do that. Someone has offended you, they've done something really hurtful to you, and then you're going to write it in your journal. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that, because there is a way it will stay on your mind and you won't be able to move on from the hurt, and it stops you, or it hinders forgiveness from being natural. Maybe you've even forgiven the person, you've had closure concerning the situation, and then whenever you go over your journal just to like read some other things and all of that, and then what you're saying is, this person did this, that said this and that to me, you know, the heart becomes fresh again. So I wouldn't advise anyone to keep such record. No, don't. Please don't forget that there is an end to everything. There is something you're trying to achieve when you try to journal. There is something, and don't forget that thing. That is keeping track of God's faithfulness. That is the major goal. I don't want us to lose sight of why. The why is what will keep us going. So the why is we want to keep track of God's faithfulness. The why is we want to see how prophecies and vision translate into reality. You know, we want to study patterns in our lives, times that we are spiritually up and all of that, and then we are receiving back to back from God instructions. You know, there's some instruction God gives us that they are for the future. Like the Bible says, the vision is for an appointed time. There's some content that they are just for the future. Maybe God has told you this and that will happen about your marriage, and you're not even married yet. You want to document such things so that by the time you enter into that marriage, you will go back and know what God has told you. God has told you about it, you know, about the marriage and how, and you can always trace things back to the root, you know, and that's the beauty of it. Please, someone has offended you. That is not it. Move on. Pray for forgiveness. And I want us to know that forgiveness is a function of our personality. It has nothing to do with the other person. It's about, okay, now I know this episode is not about forgiveness, but I just want to say this so that, I mean, for people that are currently journaling, or those that intend to start the journal journey, and I just want to say this, you know, for those that are already doing this and those that are about to do this, I just want to say something about the things that should be in your journal and shouldn't be. Yeah, I know that I don't have the right to tell you the things you're supposed to document and things you're not supposed to document, but then as a Christian, I know there is a particular standard. Forgiveness is not a function of the other person apologizing or not apologizing, or holding up or not holding up. It is for your peace of mind as a Christian, for your heaven, because you don't go to fire. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you don't want to hurt yourself by journaling. Many people are currently traumatized, and they have refused to get healing. They have refused to like get immediate help. They have refused to move on from that hurt just because they kept a record of those things by journaling them. Those things are not healthy for you. If you want to live a peaceful life, please don't document people's hurt and wrongs to you. It will not help you. It will not help you. It will, you might have moved on and, you know, gotten over it and all of that, and then maybe you're just trying to read back your journal, and then the rush of emotion, everything comes back again. Like, oh, you start seeing that person in a disgusted manner, you start getting irritated by them, you start like, oh, you did this to me, you said this and that to me, and all of this stuff. You don't need them. So I would just advise that you keep only things that are healthy, things that, you know, some people that have been abused in the past, they kind of keep a record of those abuses, like, oh, this person did this to me, and they even write the date and the time. This person did this to me at so times, also days, also year. 20 years down the line, they are reading back, they are reading whatever, or that what happened in detail, and then they can't move on. They're stuck in the past. They're allowing the past to drag them backward. I know it's not easy to get over such. I mean, people that have been abused, I really don't know what it feels like to be in your shoes. I can't. I honestly don't know, and I'm not trying to be insensitive here. I know, and I pray that the Lord gives you healing, you find peace, you find rest, and then God helps you heal from the hurt. I'm just saying that it is not healthy for you to document those things or write them down. Please let it go. Let it go. Completely let it go. Leave everything to God. Trust the Holy Spirit for healing, absolute healing. He can do it. He has done it in the past for people. Yours will not be an exception. So, yeah. So I think it'll be ending this. If you have any questions about journaling, let me know. And some people would like to ask about, would you like to keep a journal that is secret, like secretive? Like, I know sometimes journal is it's confidential. Yeah, it's confidential. Most people don't give it. Why would you give someone else access? Well, except you're married, child, and you have a spouse. You know, let your spouse see your journal. I mean, you're one, but I'm saying that journal should be your personal property. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. And do you need to buy a book, hard copy, to have a journal? No, I have e-journal. I have the hard copy. So some people, they have the habit of misplacing books. So if you know you're that kind of person and you're more of soft copy kind of person, you prefer to read e-copy of books, you prefer it's just easier for you to access things when they're like this. So it's like the electronic version. I would advise you, there are different software there are different applications you can download on your phone, on your tablet, on your mobile device, and all of that, that would help you journal well. I have e-journal, and I think mine is Notepad. That's not like logged or no, but you can put a password to it. And there are others that you can actually put password to them, so that maybe your phone gets stolen, God forbid. And also, if you download such app, try to back them up, maybe on iCloud or Google Drive. Try to back up your journal on, yeah, if you have if you're running the e-journal, try to keep it passworded or put it on Drive, iCloud, just in case you misplace your phone, you'll be able to retrieve your journal. So having the e-copy, I told you, I think mine is Notebook. Yeah, Notebook is an app you can download on Apple Store or Google Play Store. Yeah, that's one of my recommendations, because one thing I even like about it is it's even like the time and everything is there, except you edit it anyway, so you lose that time. And also, yeah, e-journal is fun, hard copy is also fun. There are times that you won't have access to your phone, or your phone could be a distraction. For example, maybe you are praying at midnight. I would prefer using my pen and paper to write on the hard copy journal, because there are things that, you know, maybe God is dropping things in your heart and they are so heavy, you just begin to write them down. You might not even understand what you're writing, you just know your hand is moving on the paper, your hand is moving, you don't even know, but it's just like literally an inspiration at that time. So when you go back to it, you now understand, oh, okay, so this was what I wrote, or this is what God was trying to tell me. So yeah, if that works for you, maybe you're using your phone to play a song or chant while praying at midnight and all this stuff, and then you don't want to stop, because that chant is like a stream, you get, so you don't want to stop it, so that you don't want to stop the flow. You want to use your hard copy. So I would advise you do both. You kind of get hard copy, you get soft copy. There are days you feel like, oh, you don't want to write, then you use your e-copy. So yeah, and then keeping it password isn't necessary. Well, my journal, the hard copy, doesn't have a lock, doesn't have a key, but yeah, you can get one with the lock, so you can have the privacy. But I live alone and I barely have visitors. So like, even if I have visitors, you stay in the living room, and even if maybe you stay over, maybe a friend of mine, maybe she stays over at my place, like all of that, I mean, she's not gonna go to get my journal and that's the next thing she's looking for, right? So because I live alone, it's easy for me to keep a journal without a lock, because I'm like, who wants to see it? Like, nah. So yeah, if you live alone, you might not really bother much about locking it. But if you know that maybe you live with people, or you have younger siblings that can just open it and be reading it out, I know, all those kind of stuff, you can just get the one with the lock, and that one you have your peace. That way, yeah, nobody's going to really check it like that. So if you have questions about journaling, let me know. Journal is not just about prophecies and vision. Anyway, you can also write your lessons learned from anything. Could be like maybe real life situation, it could be happy moments, exciting times, something you just want to, you know what I mean. So that'll be the end of this episode. do subscribe, share. If you learned something, if you find this video helpful, please tell me in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, let me know how you feel, let me know if I've been able to answer your questions about journaling, and if you would like to know more, if you want me to go deeper, or you want me to do a part 2 of journaling. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll be waiting for you. Please like, share, tell your friends. This is one of the ways to keep track of God's faithfulness, and this is one of the ways to, you know, have a productive year, because when you write the vision, it stays on your mind. I want to achieve this before the end of this year, I want to do this before the end of this year. You know, there's a way it's just beautiful, and I want you to have the experience. If you want to consider journaling just by seeing this video, let me know. And yeah, congratulations, you're welcome to the family. I'm so happy to have you here. Yeah, if you're a new subscriber, thank you. Please turn on the notification bell so that you can be getting notified when I drop a new episode. And yeah, bye, see you in the next episode.